Good Saturday evening, everyone. It's been a while since I did make detailed weather content as far as some horrific weather that has been going on in Florida with heavy rainfall, strong winds, as Hurricane Nicole did make landfall just a few days ago along the southern half of Florida, bringing tornadoes and flooding and that sort of deal. A lot of damage has been done with Nicole, and now we're dealing with some very cold Arctic air that is coming in out of the north. But due to the fact that my grandpa is still in the hospital in rehab, getting his strength back in his arm and his right side of his leg and arm as well, there is going to be some limited updates on my YouTube channel until further notice. Yes, I will update at least once or twice a week, but not the everyday style that I wish to give you all, just because my grandpa is still in the hospital and family comes first, and I want to make sure my grandpa is doing good and along to go with my grandma, because it is pretty stressful. We all get that, right? So I want to thank you all, though, in my previous videos at wishing my grandpa the best and my family, as we are dealing with a lot right now, going through this hard time. So without further ado, let's get talking about the weather, because yep, Nicole is out of the way. It's out over here, tangled up in the westerly jet stream that is screaming across the northeast at this time, and followed behind that, we got some cold Arctic air to deal with, and it's here. It's all buckled up here across Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, in Minnesota, as well as Wisconsin. Even if you are in, say, Iowa, some of the cooler air, you can even see it by these clouds here. I know this is a rainbow image. This is what we call the RGB image. It shows us where the colder air masses are, different air densities. And then we got another trough over here over California, bringing inclement weather, some gusty winds for the higher elevations of the Sierra, some snow. We had some rain this morning in my area. That was nice to see. And now that system is going to be moving into the desert Southwest and then being ejected off the central Rockies into the Midwest by the early to the middle of this upcoming week. That could bring more interesting weather, such as rain or some snow, in fact, with some much colder temperatures to follow. So taking a look at our GFS model global computer forecasting system, and we can see with what is going to be forecasted for Sunday morning, and for the most part, everyone's pretty calm with their weather, of the exception of the Great Lakes. Lots of lake effect snow, gusty winds to go along with that. And you may be asking, why is there going to be lake effect snow? Well, our Great Lakes are still warmer than average, topping that off with some colder than average temperatures that are going to be coming out of Canada, and that's going to cause instability, some moisture, and that's going to kick off our lake effect snow machine. So that continues all the way through Sunday. Let's go all the way into Tuesday, actually into Monday, we should say, and there's your next snowstorm. Yes, I mean, come on. There's snow in mid-November over Oklahoma, over Kansas, even over, say, portions there of Nebraska. Yes, Nebraska get the snow this time of the year, but I mean, come on. Oklahoma, it's mid-November. It's not even winter yet. It's still over a month away for winter, and you're gonna get your fair share of wintry-like precipitation in the form of snow, some gusty winds with that, and yes, colder air gonna be kind of in the coming down on the backside of this. And so some snow showers over, say, Montana, over Wisconsin, over Michigan, not particularly heavy, but it's gonna kind of make things a little dicey for your Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, still kind of unsettled over the Great Lakes with more lake effect snow, but it comes here. Look at this Arctic high pressure system up here to the north, 1,060 millibars perhaps. That is a massive amount of cold, dense air that is going to be unleashing its way into the northwestern United States and Montana. Wow. You're going to want to look at the temperatures. It's going to be cold. It is going to be dangerously cold for your area, and that cold air really gets into the location of much of the United States by, say, the end of this week. So by Thursday and Friday, we got colder air that is just going to be trickling in, and this continues all the way into next weekend. Yes, November the 19th and the 20th, you could be dealing with some really cold, probably record low temperatures, but further north you go, we might see some historically low temperatures during the day and during the night. So here's a look at that temperature anomaly forecast from the GFS model, and here's a look at it. So we know it's cold already. People are complaining. I bet you guys can make your complaints in the comments just to tell me how cold it is there where you're at. It is cold. Like, I mean, temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below average if you're in, say, Arkansas, if you're in Missouri, Southern Illinois, Southern Indiana. Boy, I mean, just literally 3 or 4 days ago, it's been warm there. And now you're dealing with much colder temperatures, not just here, but also back here across the west. It's been cold here through most of October. We're starting November on the chilly side, and it's going to remain that way for a while. Even in Montana, well below average temperatures. This is going to continue all the way into Tuesday, so not much changes to the forecast. Reasoning, we have below average temperatures. The entire United States, not warmer than average. It's going to be the opposite. Lots of cooler air going to continue to dump southward because of the weather pattern that we're in. So through Wednesday, below average temperatures do continue. And then look at this. I mean, my goodness. Montana, going to be very cold there. If you're in Wyoming, like Yellowstone, temperatures in the single digits in the morning. You bet that. And that's going to continue all the way into, say, November the 18th and the 19th with well below average temperatures. So, yeah, it's going to feel like winter time. Instead of it feeling like fall or whatever, it's gonna feel a whole lot different out there. You're gonna want the heavy jackets, the heavy coats, no flip-flops, no tank tops. Gonna be too cold out there for that. And then that continues possibly through the next 7 to 10 days. But things do kind of lighten up a little bit as the Arctic intrusion kind of backs away a little bit. So here's a look at those air temperatures. I mean, we're looking at single digits for your morning hours for Sunday. If you're in South Dakota, North Dakota, not as cold as it has been the last couple of mornings, but still cold, below average temperatures. You're going to see temperatures in the morning hours right around 0 to -5 degrees in some areas. Some of the higher elevations there, like Yellowstone, could have temperatures as low as -15. Yeah, that's cold for the higher elevations. And then look at this. They're not going to warm up at all in North Dakota, even in Montana. Probably only getting into the upper teens to low 20s during the day, and then it really gets cold again each night. And you can see how this progresses all the way through Wednesday, all the way through Thursday, and then here comes the big old fat surge of cold air. It comes in Thursday morning, not too bad, right? If you are in, say, portions of British Columbia, Manitoba, Canada, it's going to be cold there, as well as Alberta, Canada. Very cold as well, -5 to -10 degrees. But then look at this. I mean, during the day, you're stuck in the single digits in many areas of Montana. It's like your overnight lows almost, right? Even in the Dakotas, even in Minnesota, you're going to be pretty downright chilly. So if you hate the cold, go down to Florida. Florida is going to have the warmest temperatures out of the entire United States. Even in Arizona, you're going to be seeing temperatures in the low to mid 60s. That's as warm as it gets. Even for Arizona, can you believe it? It's going to definitely be chilly around the plate here by the middle to the end of November. And look at this. These temperatures really drop down by Friday morning, down into the single digits, and then we repeat that again a little bit more with temperatures back into the negative territory for the Dakotas, even for Minnesota, to end next week. So yes, the cold weather will continue. It's not going to get any better just yet. So here's a look at your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for November 18th through the 22nd. This was issued just today, and you can see there is a 90 to 100% chance you will have below average temperatures. And I mean, that is going to happen. At this point, there's no chances for equal or normal temperatures or above normal temperatures. It's all going to be blue, not just there, but look at California over the Pacific Northwest, and even for the eastern half. I mean, the entire map here is blue, of the exception for southernmost portion of Florida, where you have leaning above average temperatures that are expected. This continues. Okay, no, that's temperatures. Here's a look at your precipitation forecast through November to the 22nd, leaning below through much of the nation with above normal chances of rainfall or snowfall for southern Texas and for, say, Florida. And yes, we will include Alaska in there, leaning above chances for rainfall or snowfall for this time of the year for that area. So at least it's nice to get some rain there. California, near normal. Now let's take a look at your 8 to 14 day forecast. This is technically through Thanksgiving, the holiday of Thanksgiving. You're going to see below average chances of temperatures if you're in portions of California, if you're in the Rockies, and even if you're in the Great Lakes and the eastern seaboard. So it's all blue from here. Below average temperatures through the remainder of November, I'm concerned about. This was issued also today, and leaning above there for the Pacific Northwest of Washington and Oregon, followed by above average chances of rainfall if you're in California, if you're in Nevada, Idaho, portions of Montana, and Oregon and Washington, with leaning below chances of rainfall or snowfall for the Great Lakes, for the Midwest, including for the Northeast and the Northern Plains and the High Plains as well. So yeah, I know you guys want the rain a lot. It's going to be kind of slow going here over the next couple of weeks. Above average chances for southern Texas and for a southern portion there of Florida. So that's good news to see that happening. Now, not the bad news here, I should say, is your risk of hazardous temperatures are very high for below average temperatures. And I mean, look at this. Anything in the dark blue here, you have a high risk of hypothermia. Livestock could be severely damaged or destroyed because you got the frost, you got the freezing temperatures that will kill livestock out there. So take this very seriously, folks. This is pretty early in the season to have something like this. So again, heed my advice, all right? But otherwise, if you're further south, you have a low to medium chance for temperatures to be below average. That is a risk there for hypothermia, for crop damage, for outdoor water plumbing could get damaged due to the freezing temperatures. Remember, when water freezes, ice expands and it can burst pipes. It can really do a lot of damage. So consider that, okay, for the days to head, because morning temperatures are going to be cold. Also, daytime highs going to be very cold. Depending on where you're at, the water in those hoses or plumbing may not really thaw out very much this time of the year due to the low sun angle. All right, so that is going to do with this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. If you did, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and sharing this video with your family and friends on social media. I am looking into doing more of these videos, but again, it is really hard to do these when my grandpa is in the hospital. So I'll be making a lot of visits and a lot of time and tailor that towards him a lot more. So that's my top priority. I will probably have a video out on Tuesday, just like I did today, but again, these will not be as frequent until my grandpa gets back at home, until I can better take care of him and everything like that. So please understand that, but don't worry. I am aware of what's going on. Just because I don't do anything on YouTube with the weather, I'm aware Hurricane Nicole hit Florida. I'm aware of this Arctic outbreak. I'm staring down at the weather all the time on my iPad and on other platforms and stuff. Don't worry, okay? I love you guys, and I'll be back with you more, hopefully soon, with more weather content. Peace.